Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you to the organizers of the East Africa International Arbitration Conference, and I'm proud to say East Africa Law Society has consistently over the years been a partner to this conference, and we are proud that once again this year we are co-hosting and we are partnering with the organizers. Receive greetings from the Governing Council of the East Africa Law Society and the Secretariat and President Willie Rubea. Last year, we were in Nairobi for this conference, and it was remarkable. And ladies and gentlemen, this year, we are in the pristine island of Zanzibar, but virtually. We would have wished to enjoy the calm waters of the Indian Ocean in Zanzibar. Unfortunately, due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, we are only able to have this conference virtually. I think that is where my conversation this afternoon should begin. COVID-19 has greatly disrupted how we do things. Luckily, we can now do virtual conferencing without necessarily boarding planes and traveling long distances with jet lags. The question we need to ask, if something as traditional as conferencing has been disrupted this way, is arbitration safe? I believe and I know, being an arbitration practitioner myself, that arbitration has not been spared the disruption. Luckily, many arbitration practitioners and arbitration institutions have quickly adapted and introduced technology into their daily use, including virtual proceedings. And without hesitation, I want to observe that for the foreseeable civilization of mankind, virtual proceedings and use of technology in arbitration are going to be here with us. We've seen quite a lot of development in international arbitration and arbitration generally in East Africa, and I'm proud to say that counsel and lawyers, some of whom are my members at the East Africa Law Society, have recorded success at global level in arbitration proceedings. And having that in mind are the successes by the Iseme Kamau and Maema advocates and Coulson Hani the Bowman's group at ICSID, amongst others that I may not be able to mention. I know daily we are recording some progress, and to us as a body of lawyers concerned with the welfare of our members, concerned with the growth of this profession, we are pleased to be associated with such kind of growth. I would also like to observe that there's been a lot of development in terms of capacity building. When you log onto the internet, you cannot miss something about arbitration going on in East Africa. And these small processes have ultimately built up to raise a lot of interest in arbitration in the region. And this conference, the East Africa International Arbitration Conference, has been the flagship capacity building forum. Others have been able to feed into it, and we've seen a lot of lawyers and non-lawyers in the region getting chartered as arbitrators for international practice, and that's again something that we'd want to say is a development that we are proud to be associated with. The East Africa Law Society has continued its capacity building through the ELS Institute, which was our vehicle for ensuring that our members are adequately tooled and reskilled to face the 21st century challenges and opportunities. Proudly, international arbitration is one of our focus areas. And through our partnership with the Africa Legal Support Facility under the ALSF Academy, we've been able to conduct a number of capacity building for our members. But then, even beyond the East African community, we've incorporated the West African, including even the French-speaking West African, and the Southern African Development Community lawyers. And so many activities have been going on, including a training that we had early this year in Cote d'Ivoire. there's still more opportunity for other players and investors to, to bring in resources for capacity building, for arbitration in the region. Certainly, there are so many professionals that need to be reached. Universities, training centers still require capacity to be able to roll out these courses, not on need basis anymore, but as part of the routine of their training. Law societies still need to reskill their members in these areas, because this is the surest way of ensuring sustainability of international arbitration practice amongst our members. As stakeholders on the regional integration front, we root daily for the East African Court of Justice, which is the regional justice mechanism under the treaty establishing the East African Community. As you may be aware, the East African Court of Justice, based in Arusha, has an arbitration jurisdiction. And this jurisdiction and the mechanism, I'm proud to say, is absolutely free of charge to the users. The judges are adequately trained. A number of them, starting with the president of the court, are well-known arbitration experts globally, and they are chartered. The skills are there. The court routinely trains the judges and the court staff on arbitration. Now, we are saddened that only little use has been made of this particular facility. And not just this, even the Kigali International Arbitration Center, a world-class arbitration institution, and even the Nairobi International Arbitration Center is not seeing as much excitement as the founders of this institution would have seen. It only shows there is a disconnect somewhere. Well, there's a rise on Buy East Africa, Build East Africa. We don't see such enthusiasm when it comes to distributing of international arbitration instruction. And what this could only mean is that our own institutions, locally created, are missing out on the global cake that is being shared in Washington, in London, in New York, in Paris, and in many other, arbitration centers across the world. It could be an opportunity for our bureaucrats, for our governments, for the decision makers to strategically think about positioning our own local experts to be able to provide homegrown solutions. If we are truly going to realize not sustainable development, international arbitration, in our view, as part of the wider law practice, is an instrument to realizing sustainable development. But that is only possible if we make use increasingly of homegrown solutions. That is, homegrown institutions, as I've mentioned them, as well as homegrown expertise. I have no doubt in mind that at the moment, the East African region has the right skill set in international arbitration, has the right tools in place. What is only missing is the support of the government increasingly to ensure that we are able to get enough briefs so that our members can also share into this cake. I will also want to observe that the region has grown, attracting quite a lot of foreign direct investments and inflows of international trade. This is already seen in the rise of infrastructural projects. I'm not very sure there is any other part of Africa that is experiencing remarkable and speedy growth in infrastructure as East Africa community at the moment. Virtually every country in the region, including the new kid on the block, South Sudan, is experiencing remarkable infrastructural development. This growth in the enterprise, both infrastructure and inflow in trade, especially as you see the witnessing of the African Free Continental Trade Area, which is now a reality, as well as the on the pipeline free trade agreements with the rest of the world, starting with the Kenya-USA FTA, which is in the pipeline, and the Kenya-UK FTA, which again is on the pipeline. These are going to give ways to many other such international trade agreements. These instruments, plus these other commercial agreements as you know them, most of them come inbuilt with arbitration as the default dispute resolution mechanism. We hope and we believe that our experts and our institutions are going to see rapid growth in this particular sector as disputes are inevitable under such arrangements. Ladies and gentlemen, even as I wish you fruitful deliberations throughout this conference, may I also thank the organizers of the East Africa International Arbitration Conference once again for thinking of this noble idea, for thinking of positioning the East Africa community as a region that is harnessing, international arbitration, which is a civilized method of resolving especially commercial disputes. I wish you fruitful deliberations again through this day. Thank you.